for Women in History Award for Marie Aull. So he's here, and we also have lots of guests for good citizens, and so we've got a busy day. We're going to start with our opening ritual, page 1. If everybody would please stand. To perpetuate the memory and spirit of the men and women who achieved American independence, to promote the development of an enlightened public opinion, and to foster patriotic citizenship, these are the objectives of our society, Daughters of the American Revolution.
Keep that which is committed to thy trust.
Yea, I have a goodly heritage.
Thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee.
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord.
Please join in your faith and tradition as we pray for an awards day. I'm deviating from the book. Lord, as reward is so much a part of your heavenly design, we are thankful for this special day and for the students and the special women to be recognized today, as they experience the joy of anticipation and the satisfaction of knowing that they did their very best. Bless them with your loving presence. Be also with their loved ones and their well-wishers from the community and the National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution program worldwide. Strengthen us as we meet together and learn from one another in our commitment to God, home, and country. Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance. We have our new chapter flag here. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the American's Creed, page 3. I believe in the United States of America
as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy in a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies.
Okay, we've got the preamble.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, our patriotic song is My Country 'Tis of Thee. It is just the first verse. My
Country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Please be seated. Thank you. So the DAR gives out Community Service Award, and this award recognizes worthy individual for unpaid volunteer achievements. The recipient must have contributed to the community in an outstanding manner. Members of the NSDAR are eligible for this award if the service is unrelated to their DAR activities. I am pleased to present a Community Service Award to Nancy Millhouse. representative and always willing to honor JROTC students. What many of us do not know is that she has served in many other places. In her church since 1970, the Miami Valley Women's Center since 2015, and as a volunteer for the National Museum of the United States Air Force since 2012. At the Women's Center, Nancy has served in many different positions within the organization: a client advocate, resource volunteer. She stocked the boutique and worked behind the scenes. Nancy has been a steward for the center's resources and a support for the volunteer and staff. Nancy has served for 17 years and 7 months with 984 lifetime hours as a volunteer in the Education Division for the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. Nancy performed demonstrations at family days, homeschool events, and she was an inspiration to multiple generations in the area of science, meteorology, physics, flight, and more. We are recognizing Nancy for her amazing contributions to her community and her dedication to families, children, and education. She was supposed to give this out in November, but she traveled, and her husband ignored her DAR schedule. So
I just want to thank you so much, and I think my husband was more influential in the science part of my service to the museum than I was, but anyways, we made a good team. That's great.
Okay, now we are going to award the Chapter Good Citizen Scholarship, Elaine Koenig.
The DAR Good Citizen Award and Scholarship Contest was created in 1934. Is intended to encourage and reward the qualities of good citizenship. This award recognizes and rewards individuals who possess the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism in their homes, schools, and communities. These students are selected by their teachers and peers because they demonstrate these qualities to an outstanding degree. The program is open to high school seniors whose schools are accredited by the State Board of Education. Only one student per year may be honored as a school's DAR Good Citizen. United States citizenship is not required. Once a student is chosen as a DAR Good Citizen, the student is invited to participate in the scholarship portion of the program. The scholarship program participation is optional. The scholarship portion consists of 2 parts. Part 1 includes letters of reference, list of high school activities, description of community service, transcripts. They write a paragraph about how they exhibit the DAR Good Citizen qualities, and they tell about their future plans. Part 2 is a timed 550-word, it's a 2-hour, 550-word question-based essay on our American heritage. So we have our students here today, our first, second, and third place, and they are here to read you their essays. And they will be receiving a DAR Good Citizenship pin, which has 13 stars around it, which represents our 13 colonies. The band of blue identifies it with our society. The qualities of good character, which we emphasize, dependability, service, leadership, patriotism, are titles of the 4 books. In the center, and circling these, is the laurel wreath of honor behind them, the torch of understanding. Okay? They will be getting a certificate, as well as a wallet card stating that they are a good citizen. so that they can put this in their wallet. And they have proof. You know, we all want to prove things. I'm a good citizen. So without further ado, well, kind of, because I'm going to introduce her, but we were fortunate that our first place winner, which I'm going to talk about her, Allie Lewis, also went on to the Ohio Southwest District, and she won at that level. So she gets 2 certificates. So we were fortunate. She did go on to state, where you compete against 3 other of the districts, but she represented us well, but apparently there was somebody they liked better for some reason. But we like her. That's what matters. We like her the most. There's a lot of stuff up here that you have to handle. I don't know how you do it, Stephanie. Stephanie's coordinated. Okay. So, and she gets a letter from the state chairman because she did go to state. That goes with that. So let me introduce Allie, and she is here today with her parents in the back row. Allie is the daughter of Tim and Jennifer Lewis of Bellbrook. She is a senior at Bellbrook High School, and she'll graduate with honors in May. Allie is the senior class president, and she's a member of the National Honor Society at Bellbrook High School, where she leads several outreach committees. She is the founding member of Bellbrook High School's Hopeful Squad, a student-run organization offering guidance, assistance, and support in the Bellbrook schools and the Bellbrook Sugar Creek communities. Allie is a member of the Conservation Teen Advisory Council, a statewide committee sponsored by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources that provides unique environmental opportunities for student leaders. Allie is a competitive dancer at the Bellbrook Dance Academy, where she has danced for 15 years, and she has a recital today. In her spare time, she enjoys sewing arts, crafting, and gardening, and this fall she plans on going either to the, you didn't capitalize it on here, you cannot go. I'm sure there are others in here that would have a problem with that. It's the Ohio State University, or, and this one is not capitalized, the University of Cincinnati, and she's going to major in chemical engineering. My dad graduated from the Ohio State University. So, without further ado, but Allie will come up, and parents, can you stand up so we can congratulate you also? I'm going to give you the awards so we can this picture thing out. Okay. Okay. You can proceed. I was fortunate enough to proctor her essay, so we got to know each other. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put these back there, because now you have some. This is your state cover. Hold on, I gotta find the checks. I put the check somewhere. She wants the check, I know she does.
Yes.
She wants the check. She's going to the Ohio State University. And without further ado, there's your essay.
Thank you. All right, well, my name is Allie. As you guys already know, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for this incredible opportunity. This is my essay on American heritage and what it means to be a good citizen. At the turn of the 18th century, as a newly formed nation, America struggled with the ups and downs of independence, new government, and diverse citizenry. Many leaders held the nation together with courage and determination. Numerous social activists worked to heal inequality through the nation, Yet, most impactfully, countless citizens exhibited honor, loyalty, and bravery through the roller coaster ride to independence. While leaders and social activists are found throughout the pages of every history book, the unseen heroes that truly pushed America to greatness, and still do to this day, are the citizens of the United States. Many qualities determine what has and continues to make a good citizen in America. To many, the most important of those qualities are that of leadership and the subsequent dependability needed to be a true leader. Although many leaders, as mentioned above, have gone down in American history for aiding the nation through turbulent times, the true leaders that have held this nation together are simply brave, dependable citizens. For instance, think back to the American Revolution, where citizens were split on their beliefs. Should they support the British Crown or the cause of radical independence? Thomas Paine, although an average citizen and writer at the time, pridefully and courageously answered their questions. Through his creation of the Common Sense pamphlet, Paine took the lead and encouraged his fellow citizens to face the injustice of British colonial rule. Without the leadership of Paine, through his radical determination and echoing voice, as well as his dependability, with his creation and distribution of numerous patriotic pamphlets, this nation would have come together to fight the tyranny with such solidarity. In other decades, this characteristic of leadership and dependability can also be found. Recently, for example, many teens throughout the nation have recognized the detrimental impacts of climate change on our environment. Although just citizens, these teens have come forward to lead incredibly impactful environmental conservation efforts and have exhibited dependability and determination in the face of our nation's legislative bodies. This rhythm echoes that of Thomas Paine, as these teens encourage their fellow citizens to fight for a collective cause and fight the tyranny of climate change. Although these teen conservation groups, as well as Thomas Paine's, were never proper presidents, elected senators, or war generals, their ability to lead a movement and inspire their American peers has worked to shape the face of the nation since the 18th century. In both historical accounts as well as modern storylines, the leadership and dependability of these impactful citizens has been inspired by one thing: a love for the American nation. From this love, these citizens experienced bouts of patriotism, subsequently leading to hours upon hours of dedicated service. Both Thomas Paine as well as modern-day teen conservation groups first experienced patriotism and a dedication to service before leading movements and providing dependability for the country. By following this path of patriotism and service first, as it then leads to impactful leadership and dependability, these citizens are evidently impactful, and as such, presents a successful formula for good citizenship. This characteristic formula, being exhibited with such care and responsibility by countless U.S. citizens, has been the backbone of our nation for the past 200 years, and will continue to play a role for many generations to come.
Our second place recipient is Quinn Watercutter. She's a senior at Centerville High School. She's played basketball for 12 years for Centerville, and she's a Cincinnati area club team, and she played for a Cincinnati area club team. She's a National Merit School Scholar finalist and an officer for HOSA, Future Health Professionals, and National Honor Society. She plans on using this scholarship to help fund her education at Case Western Reserve University, where she will major in neuroscience and continue her basketball career. Ultimately, Quinn hopes to become an orthopedic surgeon, and she would like to thank you for your time in selecting her for this scholarship. Quinn. And our first place winner got a check for $500, and our second place winner, Quinn, will receive $300.
Once again, I wanted to say thank you to all of you for selecting me for this scholarship, and I appreciate your service to our community. So the prompt for this was, how do the qualities of a good citizen, dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism help support our nation? Our country's rich history is filled with tremendous moments of triumph. When thinking about the United States, many people envision a country of freedoms, opportunities, and fortune. Since our origination in 1776, the United States has fostered this reputation by preserving the principles of our founding fathers. We not only fight for our own nation, but for that of others, protecting the democratic systems of the world through battles against dictatorship and communism, largely in the late 20th century. By safeguarding these democratic beliefs, we not only help other nations, but encourage confidence and patriotism within our own borders. Americans are proud to be a part of this country, not just because of the immense success of this country, but the philosophy that it was founded upon. Dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism are virtues dictated through our historical documents dating back to early America. Although these words were written hundreds of years ago, they are applicable today. As a citizen of this country, one has a duty to represent these ideals each day. Our country was founded on dependable workers, whether an agrarian society or the expanding industrial revolution of the 19th century. Americans are responsible for their career, families, and themselves. From one person, this may seem menial, but much can be accomplished with dependability in a group setting. The marvels of technology, sports, or government do not function on just one person. Instead, these groups are accountable to one another, pushing each other to achieve their best every day. This dependability accounts to the vast improvements our country values. However, this teamwork cannot function without a leader. Just as with any large American victory, a leader is at the forefront, prompting the team toward a goal. As a citizen, leadership does not come from words, but actions. Arousing change in leadership originates with admirable behaviors that contribute to the betterment of our society. To truly lead, we must serve our community and others. Any act of kindness is service, promoting a sense of belonging and togetherness. Service is not meant as a task, but a moment of compassion and gratefulness to those around us. Service is routinely small in nature, but prompts additional acts of kindness throughout the community. Whether in schools, cities, or parks, service allows for a greater present and future. Nevertheless, it is vital to consider our history. One can learn as much from the past as from the present. Although the event has already occurred, there is so much more to observe from historical figures and their decisions. Each individual revealed their own story, and as responsible citizens, we need to listen. Our nation's story was not created in one day. It was generated over time by many leaders, each with their own unique path. Patriotism is not only taking pride in one's country, but taking pride in oneself. Demonstrating respect for our ancestors and learning from their successes and failures drives forward American patriotism. Stagnation is not a quality of a good citizen, and we must make changes to evolve with our present. As patriotic citizens, it is our responsibility to grow upon our nation's legacy, shaping the future of America by learning from its past. Thank you.
Our last third place winner is Bethany Sapp. She is the daughter of Yolanda and Gary Sapp. She's a senior at Northmont High School. She will graduate with honors in May, and she is one of the valedictorians. She owns membership in many groups, including the Attorney General Teen Ambassador Board, the Dayton American Heart Association Ambassador, Ohio Chapter of Youth Advocates for Change, Northmont's Mock Trial on Student Government, and she was a cheerleader for 3 years. Bethany plans to further her education in law. She has lived abroad for 6 years in Japan, and she is interested in racial relationships, and she is very grateful for the opportunity to be with us today.
their civic duties like voting, a person that serves others and their community, someone who leads the charge and inspires others around them, or one that celebrates their country for all its successes and strives for changes where it falters. The truth is, a good citizen is a person that does all of these things. They hold all of these aspects and continuously push to better themselves and the community around them. If we look back in history, evidence of good citizens could be seen all around. People like Martin Luther King, Alexander Hamilton, and Eleanor Roosevelt. On the surface, these people are very different. However, on a deeper level, they pushed for the betterment of their country, the United States. Martin Luther King advocated for civil rights. This was done through inspiring fellow citizens to put use to the freedoms granted to them in the U.S. Constitution and protest. And he has gone on to be a model for future change makers. Alexander Hamilton aimed to form the U.S. government into a stable one that their children's children could be proud of. Eleanor Roosevelt was a pioneer of women's rights and even gave guidance to her husband on how to lead the country in a time where women weren't given these opportunities. In all cases, they pushed through any adversity they faced to ultimately better their country. Today, it can be much harder to see good citizens. With the COVID-19 pandemic, political turmoil, and crime on the rise, being the model citizen can be the last thing on some people's mind. However, the good citizens that are out there just shine even brighter. They are adjusting the way they serve and others to fit in a virtual world and creating open spaces to discuss important topics that are too often swept under the rug. Being a model citizen in a normal climate can be difficult, but add in the chaos that has happened in the past couple of years, and it would seem impossible. But the people that push through all of these difficulties and continue to hold the qualities of a good citizen help our country even more. Without good citizens, our country would not experience growth. It would stay stagnant without the curious minds and big hearts that are part of upstanding citizens. Good citizens help to build our country by laying the groundwork of our governing body and have kept our country running till this day through all of the difficult times. These people are an integral part of our country's and the successes it has had so far.
Our other two award winners, and Stephanie, Francis.
We're gonna try to get it.
The Good Citizen Committee is about. So when you we ask for donations, this is what it goes for.
All right, we're going to have our program now. Francis is going to come on up here and introduce everyone. And I'm going to try not to.
Oh, thank you. That's important. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Frances McGee Cromartie, your Vice Regent, and one of my duties is to talk about our program, or to introduce our program. And I've been so excited about the programs that we've had this year, because one of the precepts of the DAR is education. And one of the things that we've had this year is programs that are tailored to give everybody a refresher course as to all of the ideals and ideas that we support. And one of them is women's history. Our program this month concerns women's history because this March is Women's History Month. And as we were planning our programs, one of our members, Molly Martin, who is a junior member, asked if she could sponsor a program or if we could do a program on Marie Aull. And for those of you who don't know, you're going to learn a whole lot about Marie Aull, but she is called, and I'm just going to steal a little bit of thunder, but Marie Aull is the godmother of conservation, and she's known nationally, if not here in the Southwest region, for being the leader when no one really cared about conservation and nobody cared or understood what green space was about and why it was important. And so Molly asked if she could, well, asked if we could do a program, and of course when you ask, we say, of course, let you lead it. So I want to introduce to you our speaker, which is one of our junior members, Ms. Molly Martin, and we said yes. She's one of our up-and-coming leaders, so we wanted to give her some exposure. She is ambitious, and one day I hope that she will be leading our organization. Currently, she is chairing 2 of our committees. She's chairing our Conservation Committee and our Junior Membership Committee. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you Ms. Molly Martin, who's going to talk to us and help us understand the importance and the gratitude that we owe to Marie Aull. Molly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
See if this will work for me. All right. So celebrating Marie Aull this morning. She was a naturalist and a visionary. She started out, of course, Marie Sturwold was her maiden name. She was born January 8, 1897 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Her parents were Anthony and Rose Sturwold, and she had an older sister, Catherine. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Is that better?
That's
Okay. Sorry. She was an ambitious student. She attended the University of Cincinnati. The Sturwold family shared a love for gardening, which started Marie's passion and study of botany, geology, and bird study. She had a passion for nature. She was a gardener, environmentalist, and a naturalist. And she was a founding member of the Garden Club of Dayton, Ohio in 1922, which is now celebrating 100 years. To honor Marie, the Garden Club of Dayton commissioned a life-size bronze figure to be installed in Carillon Park in Dayton, Ohio, which was dedicated June 17th of 2003. Marie Sturwold and John Aull met on a month-long trip into Alaska in 1922, and they married June 23rd of 1923. They moved to John's farm in the country north of Dayton. The farm became known as Allwood. Marie and John took great care of building and nurturing a shade garden of wildflowers and native perennials, which gained national recognition. John Aull had passed away in 1955 at the age of 89. Allwood Audubon Center and Farm. Marie's passion led her to a goal of creating a nature sanctuary where teachers and children could learn about plants, animals, and ecological concepts. She sought to make her dream a reality and contacted the president of the National Audubon Society with the idea of creating the first nature center in the Midwest. Marie donated 70 acres of land to the National Audubon Society in 1957. In 1962, Marie purchased the 120-acre Antrim farm adjacent to Allwood Audubon Center to prevent the possibility of another buyer draining the springs that fed the creek into the nature center. In 1978, the center and farm were combined into one operation. That facility was then renamed Allwood Audubon Center and Farm. Allwood Garden Metro Park. Marie Aull lived on the property from 1924 to 2002 when she passed away at the age of 105. Marie donated Allwood to Five Rivers Metro Parks in 1977 and coexisted with the park visitors for 25 years. The 35-acre park has a prairie, Wiles Creek, nature trails, woods, and gardens planted with native and exotic flowers. The house and and gardens are on the Ohio National Register of Historic Places. Her accomplishments. In 1964, Marie, in conjunction with other members, donated $50,000 to assist in the development of the Metro Parks. The first park lands purchased are now known as Possum Creek, Sugar Creek, and Carriage Hill Metro Parks. She was also one of the founders of Cox Arboretum. Marie received several national awards and was voted one of the top 10 women of Dayton in 1977. In 1986, Marie helped to found the Dayton Miami Valley chapter of the Native Plant Society. She was a quiet donor behind many Dayton institutions and held many positions on national boards for the Audubon Society and the Garden Club of America. We would now like to honor Marie Aull for all the work that she did as a conservationist, educator, and philanthropist. Here to accept the award is Kimberly Ballwick from Allwood Garden Metro Park, where the award will be displayed. Kim?
Nothing is really ended until it is forgotten. Whatever is kept in memories still endures, is real.
Remembering the past is conserving strength for the future. As we look at history, we know that we need today not a show of greatness, not a parade of power, not a recital of our capacities, but more and more a spirit of fervent gratitude.
Therefore, the Women in American History Award emphasizes amazing women in American history. The role of women, past and present, DAR chapters are encouraged to select a notable woman from their state or community to honor and to promote the impact women have had in their communities, the world, and in American history.
Help us not to forget the past, make its lessons serve the present, and grant that its teachings safeguard the future. In honoring Marie Aull, we also pay tribute to all the heroic women who served our country with integrity and devotion.
Therefore, we members of the Daniel Cooper Chapter NSDAR dedicate this award and medal in grateful recognition of the significant efforts of Marie Aull. May it help to keep alive an appreciation of our heritage from the past.
Marie Aull was a gardener, environmentalist, naturalist, and a passionate, active member of the community. She often was the only voice speaking out to protect wildflowers, wetlands, and wildlife in our area. Marie and her husband, John, lived on a farm known as Allwood, just north of Dayton, where they took great care of their garden, which gained national recognition. Allwood was donated to Five Rivers Metro Park in 1977 and remains open for the community's enjoyment.
In the name of Daniel Cooper Chapter NSDAR, I place the certificate and medal in your hands to be placed at Allwood Park. If you
May you join me by praying in your faith as I pray in mine. Lord, we ask thy blessing upon every good influence growing out of the life of Marie Aull, upon every good cause with which she identified herself, and upon those close to her love, especially children and nature. Amen.
Amen. Okay, can we have a picture, Deb? Yeah. We can all squeeze in again, like Francis says, like we love to.
Did you want to say?
Kim wanted to say a few things.
I'm certain she would be humbled to receive this honor, and she would accept it with gratitude. Marie Aull was a shining example of an outstanding citizen who took to heart the importance of supporting community. John and Marie Aull shared the fundamental belief that they could better the city of Dayton and the citizens that they cherished, and so it began. Marie Aull, she became a widow in her 50s, and she spent the next 47 years of her life investing in the people of her community, often anonymously, carrying on with their philanthropic endeavors that they began so long ago. Marie Aull, she was not only an early conservationist in the Dayton region, but also an advocate for many causes, especially those that related to children. The full breadth of her generosity is unknown, as she often chose to make contributions anonymously, avoiding the limelight. Marie was always willing to engage others and impart some tidbit of knowledge and wisdom. In her 105 years, she touched so many lives that she sparked wonder and awe in those around her. She led a life of adventure, and she had many moments of chance. Her story exemplifies a life well lived and a heart of giving. So 2023 marks the 100th anniversary of the marriage of John and Marie, and also the founding of Olive Garden. So please keep an eye out for special events that are in development for this centennial celebration. You can find reverie and inspiration in peaceful seclusion at Olive Garden Metro Park, so please plan to visit, as your visitation is so important to our facility. So come and enjoy some of its serenity. So I want to leave you with a quote that I think is so wonderful by William James, a philosopher, historian, and psychologist. And it says, the great use of a life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. So I think Marie was quite successful in that. And thank you again. And please come visit. Know that we do have blooms in the garden already. April will feature our Virginia bluebells, which Marie started with 100 plants, and we currently have millions. So those should bloom beginning to mid-April. So please come join us.
Okay, sounds like a field trip, ladies. Thelma is going to read our President General's message.
This is from the President General's message from March 2022. Spring brings new life to DAR. The months of March and April herald the arrival of spring and hope and DAR activity. After months of restrictions and the challenges of winter, we are about to burst forth as brilliantly as the daffodils to shine on behalf of our vibrant mission. I am both optimistic and excited about the great things ahead for your chapter and our national society, because I know that all things are possible when dedicated daughters combine their energies to carry forward our important work. The time has also come to look to the horizon to plan how your chapter will meaningfully commemorate the upcoming 250th anniversary of the United States. What large, visible project will you undertake? How will you demonstrate the benefits and purposes of DAR through an effort that raises awareness of your chapter and our mission? If you have yet to appoint a committee within your chapter, please do so now. Our National Society was proud to recently announce that ours is the first Heritage Society to sign a formal partnership agreement with America 250, the organization planning the federal government's semi-quincentennial observances. We are proud to partner with the Daughters of the American Revolution, its chapters and members, in support of this important commemoration of U.S. history. America 250 Foundation CEO and President Joe Daniels said in making the announcement, DAR's leadership and its members have been at the forefront of promoting historic preservation and education to honor the legacy of all patriots who fought for America's independence. They have been crucial partners since the earliest stages of planning for the 250th commemoration, and this agreement now formally recognizes that long-standing relationship. Huzzah, ladies! Now let's get down to work. In gratitude, Denise Doring Van Buren, President General.
Okay, the National Defense Report. Gene Sims has been deputized.
Whether I want to be or not.
Selected to volunteer.
Right, okay, Gene. Okay, Cindy asked me to highlight a story from the National Defender. It's entitled POW Bracelets from the Vietnam War. It was authored by Amy Barron from our Cincinnati DAR chapter, DAR chapter, I'm sorry, I blew that, didn't I? I'm kind of a visual person, so I kind of printed this out so the Zoom people can see it, and then I'll pass it around so everybody else can see it. During the Vietnam, many people wore these bracelets. They were inscribed by a name of an American prisoner of war. The article provided the history of these bracelets, which I remember the bracelets, I'm that old. But I didn't know the history, so I found that very interesting. In 1970, 2 Los Angeles college students founded Voices in Vital America, which I'm thinking these scholarship girls, they could do something like that, right? Okay. And they want to honor the Vietnam POWs and others who were missing in action. They designed a simple bracelet, inscribed each bracelet with the name and rank of the missing service member and the date that they went missing. The nickel-plated bracelets sold for a whopping $2.50, and the elaborate copper ones were sold for $3. This was about the price of a movie ticket back in those days. The bracelet program was officially launched on Veterans Day in 1970. Money raised went to support the POW and MIA programs. By 1976, the group had distributed almost 5 million bracelets, and some of the names were repeated on various bracelets. So, in 1971, our Cincinnati daughter Amy purchased her bracelet. Her POW name was Captain Keith Hall, who was lost on January 10, 1968. Amy wore her bracelet and prayed for Captain Hall and his family every day. On January 27, 1973, the U.S. signed the Paris Agreement, which included the release of all POWs. By March 29, 591 POW returned home in what was known as Operation Homecoming. Amy's POW captain returned home as a Major Keith Hall. During captivity, a lot of our POWs, they still earned the rank that they were assigned. She learned that Captain Keith was a pilot for the U.S. Air Force and was captured by North Vietnamese after he ejected from his plane when it was hit by enemy fire. Amy contacted Major Hall, who returned a letter stating he was reacquainting with his wife and 3 children in Florida, where he still resides, but he planned back then to go back and fly with the U.S. Air Force, which he did. So as a reminder, Tuesday, March 29th is National Vietnam Veterans Day, which honors the men and women who served during the Vietnam War. But also on Saturday, April the 9th, is National Former POW Recognition Day, a day to honor the courageous men and women who have endured brutal treatment at the hands of their captors. And if anybody wants to read the whole article, I have it. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay, reading and approval provided with a copy of the minutes. Are there any corrections? Okay, if not, the minutes stand as read. Reports of the officers, Judy Hoover, Treasurer.
It's a long way over. It's, I'm sitting back there thinking, all these reports are so interesting and uplifting, and I have this dry information. Treasurer's report. I do want to thank everyone for shopping. I will let you know that last year, Dorothy Lane Market, we only received rewards once a year. So for last year, we received $195.48 from Dorothy Lane Market. Kroger is a quarterly award, and that was $98 for this first quarter. And Amazon is also a quarterly award, and it was $26.93. So keep shopping. This report is for February 8th through March 8th. The checkbook balance on February 8th was $8,082.58. Total deposits, $994.79. Total disbursements, $850.03, with a checkbook balance on March 8th of $8,227.34.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, the treasurer's report will be filed. As a reminder, the results of the chapter audit will be read at our April chapter business meeting. All right, Registrar Sharon Patrick.
It's good to see everyone. This is the most ladies we've had at a meeting in 2 years. We have 10 guests and 35 members. And I want to honor Jan Walters. You were not here for the last meeting. You have a member for member certificate for Angela. I printed, come up here. So because she joined under you, you deserve a certificate.
Thanks, Ange.
All right, this is a little bit longer than what I normally do. So, congratulations to Polly Page, Carol App's daughter. Her application was verified this month. She's going to be one of our newest members, April 5th. Wanda Weber's app's in review. I expect it to be this week or next week. We have 3 prospective members. They're not here today, but Cynthia Johnson, Andrea Cobb, and then Christina Shepard, who must choose a chapter. And then we plan on having a welcoming ceremony for the new members at the April meeting. Betty Cornwell, Cindy Fenton, Sonia Fox, Mackenzie Hoover, Andrea McAllister, Michelle Oakes, Sarah Orr, Polly Page, Rachel Riley, Nancy Staff, Luann Stanley, Megan Zarlino, and I would also like to thank Molly Martin. Molly was kind enough to Zoom with me and let me go through my presentation first day conference. She's my kind of go-to when I do wording for my intro, and we tweaked that a little bit. So shout out to her. And I look forward to seeing those that are attending at state conference. And my workshop will be in the St. Charles room number 3 from 10:30 to 11:30 Friday morning. So see you then.
Thank you, Sharon. committee reports were all sent to you, except that the nominating committee would like to say a few words. Judy Hoover? Yeah. Should just stay on subject.
First of all, the nominating committee met on March 9th, and we are submitting the following nominations for the 2022 to the 2024 term. When your name is announced, would you please stand so everyone can get a look at you. For Regent is Frances McGee Cromartie. For Vice Regent is Elaine Coney. For Chaplain is Janine Howard. For Secretary is Molly Martin. For Treasurer is Vicki Turner. And for Registrar, we will not let her leave the meeting, is Sharon Patrick. So, Madam Regent, all the nominees have given their consent to accept the nomination.
Okay. All right. Great. Everybody will be here next month to vote? Yes? Okay. Under new business, we have a vote of endorsement we need to conduct for Judy Daniel Cooper Daughters. Judy has been a member of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution since 2015. As a member of this chapter, Judy has served as chairman of the Good Citizens Committee, Wreaths Across America, the Finance Committee, Nominating Committee, as regent and treasurer. She is coordinating the Wreaths Across America Mobile Education Exhibit in Dayton this May. She is an associate member of Eleanor Wilson Chapter, Washington, D.C., and Ottawa Chapter, Port Huron, Michigan. Judy has completed the New Members Course, New Horizons Course, GEP 1, 2, and 5, and is currently enrolled in the Committee Leaders Course. Judy has been nominated for the Southwest District Director.
I make the motion that the Daniel Cooper chapter endorse the nomination of Judy Hoover for the office of Southwest District Director for the Ohio Society Daughters of the American Revolution.
I second that. Deb Riley seconds that. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Can we make it so that it shows it's unanimous consent from our chapter?
Sure.
Yes. I just want to thank you ladies for your support and know that in the next 3 years, you may have some additional responsibilities.
Yeah, something to do with hosting the state conference in year 3. Yeah, watch out. Okay. All right, now we're going to elect our delegates for Continental Congress. The 131st Continental Congress is June 29th to July 3rd. Our chapter qualifies for the regent or vice regent plus 3 delegates. According to national bylaws, a member must have belonged to the chapter at least 1 continuous year immediately preceding the Continental Congress. Nominations are now in order for delegates to Continental Congress. No seconds are necessary, and I think you can nominate yourself. All right.
How many do you need?
Well, you can have 4. So,
Are you going to be?
I'm going.
I think Francis.
I think I'm gonna go, so I can,
Okay.
let's go together. Janine down, we'll take a trip. Let's go, Shane.
interested?
Nominate
Judy?
Francis.
Okay, Judy nominates Francis.
I'll nominate Cindy.
Okay.
I nominate Janine then. We're gonna go together.
But does Judy go automatically if she's gonna be our toughest?
No, I don't think so.
You wanna
I
go?
don't know.
You can put me down, but yeah.
She
I don't like
it's
Okay, Janine's withdrawing her nomination.
No, that's about you.
Oh, no, no. So we have Francis, Elaine, Cindy, and Judy. Who am I missing?
Janine.
Janine.
This weekend.
Okay. Are there any further nominations? If no, the nominations are closed. So, Francis, all right, we are only, so we're gonna have to vote on this.
Do we need alternates?
It didn't, all it has space for is, because we do have to have alternates. Yeah, I think so.
Put me as an alternate. If
Sorry?
that helps you, just put me as an alternate.
Judy Hoover is putting herself as an alternate. All right, so all in favor of Francis McGee Cromartie, Elaine Koenig, Cindy Canwar, and Janine Howard, with Judy Hoover as an alternate representing our chapter at Continental Congress, say yay.
Yay.
All opposed? The yeas have it. Thank you, ladies. Upcoming dates, please see your March 1st newsletter and your March agenda. There's a lot going on. Again, we have our grave marking April 30th. We also have a cleaning event. Please contact Karen Kraus if you are interested in helping clean the cemetery at Providence Lutheran on April 9th. We have our mobile education exhibit. Judy is handling there. If you're interested, contact her. And that is the 20th of May. The 21st of May is That Day in May parade. Deb Riley is heading up that group of ladies. So again, a lot of opportunities. Jump in, get your service hours and join in the fun. Is there anything, any for Francis?
Again, as part of our program, we know that next month is April, and we're going to have our business meeting. So one, be prepared to stay longer or have a longer meeting than we are used to, simply because we've got a lot of business and you need to know what we're doing. But one of the things, we're not going to have a program per se. If you decide after the meeting that you'd like to stay a little longer, it's my understanding that we might get a tour of the gardens that they have, which is a vegetable garden, to promote food for people during the summer months who live in this area. And so one of the things I'd like to ask us to do is to provide seed packets or two for vegetables. This is a way that we can say thank you to Christ Church, so that we can thank them for allowing us to meet here. They have done a yeoman's job of allowing us to be here. We don't have to pay the normal amounts, and I think sometimes we just need to let people know we appreciate what they have done because they've given us a little more. So if you could, maybe when you go to the grocery, get a seed packet or two for vegetables that you think you'd like to receive if somebody else is growing it, then it can be donated. So thank you.
Nancy, did you want to say something about the bake sale?
Yeah.
I was also volunteering for this too.
You volunteered for this?
Yeah, we're a team. You were voluntold. Yeah, all of them. Okay. If you guys know Cindy, you know how we get volunteered. Okay. We were told that we were supposed to limit the awards this year for the Youth Citizenship Awards. That's what Stephanie told Cindy and Cindy told us, but we don't listen very well. We have 20 certificates, they do cost money, and the little jackets to put them in, that costs money. So we're coming up for around $300. So Cindy had the idea, oh, let's have a bake sale. We have a bake sale for you, okay, to make up the difference. So we need donations on bake sale, and you can take some home. They freeze very well, okay? And have you ever had a bad day? We all have, right? So put those in when you empty a vegetable bag, okay? Wash it out, then put some of those little baggies of cookies in it. Put that in the freezer. Your family will never look in them. Right? And then when you have that bad day, go get your own stash, okay? So we don't want to see anything left on the table, because if we take it and it's left, then I'll eat some of it, and I don't need to. And if we don't make enough money, Cindy is not going to like us. She's in India right now, and this is how dedicated Cindy is. She got up at 6 a.m. to call us 9 p.m. our time, so that she could encourage us and do things and get an update on. Yeah, so, you know, we were all in our PJs, basically. We were going to bed, she was getting up. So, you want to add anything to that mess?
Yeah, can you top that?
No.
You told me to go first.
I figured you covered all. What I just wanted to say is that it's for donations, so whatever you think, if you want to get a lot, which will you give us a lot. And I looked at it and it really all looks good. So please indulge, and I know your grandchildren or your children would enjoy a snack, and they would appreciate you going to DAR meetings, because you can bring home a little snack.
How about the my son, because my daughter's
So,
so she can take them home.
just, everybody go home with something.
Yeah, Rachel will take your money at the
She
festival,
doesn't like
right?
to eat this. I mean, just pastry chips.
All right,
Other
and
stuff
on a
is-
final note, I just want to show you our beautiful Sebastian Peter plaque. It's arrived. So this is what's going to go back on the back of the tombstone. So once again, if you want to help out in any way, shape, or form, Karen Kraus is your girl. It looks really, really nice. It's heavier than you think.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay? All right, we're all very excited. All right. Devotion, Deb?
Let us join in prayer. We offer humble thanks for our blessings and the opportunity to be of service to you, Lord, in our national society. Later this month, we want to honor our veterans, especially our Vietnam veterans. Please remind us how much we owe these men and women. Let us remember the ones who are gone and those who walk in our community. They had time away from their loved ones and pride in what they did. Have us remember to honor them and love them in your name, we pray. Amen.
Speaking of the Vietnam veterans, I was at the American Legion. I was talking to somebody who was there, and they do have pride in what they said, but you know, they were told to not wear their uniforms when they came home, and they were actually spit on and thrown stuff on, and we all seem to forget that. So, you know, honoring them, you know, now later, I think that's very important. You know, just talking to him and having him tell me about his experience, because you know, I was a kid at the time and just hear about it, but to hear it, you know, from a primary source meant so much to me. To hear him tell me about his own personal experience.
Judy Hoover, who's working on the Reach Across America mobile education exhibit, is reaching out to the Legions. There is an opportunity for us to potentially pin some veterans that day. So.
And that's really meaningful because some of the pride when we went back in September, and just the fact that we wanted to honor them even though it was late, some of them, you know, cried.
Any further business? All right. If not, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, ladies.